opponent said that the thing that was being discussed was about the tutors for the more rich students for the SATs, and they will get higher scores, but that wasn't the only case that they got the higher scores. Is because they had the extra push from the parents, and the money for these tutors helped these richer students get higher scores. Well, the students may get that extra push from their parents. However, when they enter college, they don't have that push anymore from their parents. They have to take their own initiative, and they have to study for themselves. There's no one there to be. There's no one that's gonna be there, especially parents making the student go into tutoring classes and helping their college scores. So the SAT helps a student kind of get ready for their college courses. They have to find their own motivation to study for these exams, and even if they do have that extra push from the parents, it's ultimately the student who has to study for the test, and they have to take the exam. So even if there's an extra push from their parents, it's actually the motivation from the students, and this is the kind of motivation that colleges are looking for. And if they see that motivation, then they have a higher chance of getting into the college of what they want. And this motivation can be seen through the score that the student receives from an SAT exam. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the correlation between the high school GPA and the SAT by itself. So there's one important thing that we have to consider, is that the degree of correlation between two variables depends on the range of the variables considered, and this is what John Pavlos, a math professor at Temple University, says. Pretty much what he's trying to say is that the SAT scores of an elite school is generally going to be higher on average than those of students at community colleges, but both students probably have similar college grades at their respective institutions. This is because if both sets of students were admitted to elite schools or both sets attended community colleges, there would be a considerably stronger correlation between the SATs and college grades at these schools. Those schools that attract students with a wide range of SAT scores generally have higher correlations between the scores and the first-year grades. This general phenomenon, the degree of correlation between two variables, depends on the range of variables considered. Pretty much what he's trying to say is the colleges are definitely different when you're looking at an elite school versus a community college, and the classes offered at each of these colleges are definitely going to be different. So what he's saying is, if the schools that have students with a variety of SAT scores show that there is a higher correlation between the scores and the first-year grades. So the SAT helps the student. The SAT helps the students get ready for college in the sense of preparing them for these college courses by being motivated, and there is actually a correlation between the SAT test and the grade point average of a college student. It's just the correlation is more obvious where there's a more variety of SAT scores in one college versus an elite school versus a community college.